productive, creative, inventive, fertile. These are all synonyms of the word prolific, which in terms of an artist or a performer basically just means someone who produces many works, someone who's busy, someone who's making things happen and getting out there and creating a lot of stuff without too much of a downtime in between. Someone like Israel Adesanya, right? The last style bender, the current UFC middleweight champion. This guy is an example of someone who's being super prolific lately in a sport where that's oftentimes hard to do, right? He lost the title recently a few months back. Later he got the rematch for the title. He won the title back again. Now he's got another fight coming up in a few weeks with Sean Strickland, right? He's building the legacy, right? He's prolific. He's just doing a lot of stuff. He's having a lot of fights. He's constantly in the public eye and the public consciousness, right? But there's a lot of different forms of prolific, right? You have prolific musicians, prolific authors, prolific YouTubers, podcasters, influencers. And in today's video, I want to just discuss a bit of what I believe will really make you the most prolific and productive. So just to get right into it, this is it, right? You're going to need to find a system that works for you. This is going to be something that applies no matter what you're doing. If you're writing or fighting or streaming or surfing, whatever it is, you just find a system that works for you. A lot of people, they just, they don't do anything. So step one is to find a way to do something, right, that you're willing to do on a regular basis that fits into your life in a somewhat synergistic way with the way you live, right? For example, someone asked recently in the comments, should I go to the gym in person or should I work out from home? And honestly, I think if you can make it to the gym, I enjoy the gym. You get to be around other people. You get to see some baddies there, you get to maybe meet some cool friends who are all kind of on this path of like bettering themselves. I like the gym. And I think that if it's like something that you're uncomfortable with, I think you should work on that part of yourself that's like a little bit uncomfortable. But personally, I actually have been working out from home lately because that's just what's been fitting into my life the best. And that's what I can do the most often on a regular basis right now with the least amount of friction, right? So I told him, just get the weights regardless because they're good to have around. But, check out the gym because there's a lot of cool people there. But ultimately, it's going to come down to what you are willing to do consistently. Dedication is greater than motivation. This is very, very important. This is something, if you can really learn this and internalize it, this is super important, right? Dedication is more grounded than motivation. When like you say you're going to do something, you told someone that you're going to be there, you almost feel this deep obligation inside you. And it's like, unless I'm deathly sick or something has truly gone wrong, I'm going to make this appointment. That is the thing that you need to cultivate because this is the feeling that will get you to show up to places even when you don't necessarily feel like it. And that skill is incredibly important. Doing the thing even when you don't feel like it. That is the essence of being a man. Men do things when they don't feel like it, right? Because they have obligations, they got duty, they got honor. This goes back to a video I made talking about why we need to stop living like villains and ingrates and degenerates, right? Which I recommend you watch because ultimately this lifestyle, it makes you more dedicated and that in turn will make you stronger. There's hardly anything out there that is great in the world that was created by people who only worked on it when they felt like it. Think about it. Everyone out there that is great, that you enjoy so much, everything out there, whether it's video games or a work of art or an organization that you're part of, or even the roads that you drive on, right? These were all things that were created out of duty and obligation more than just feelings, right? I'm sure the construction crew that built the road that you're on right now didn't always feel like it, but it was their job. It was their duty. It was their contract. So they showed up anyway, and now you have a nice road you can drive your car on, right? It's awesome. Whereas if you ponder that feeling of motivation, you're going to often see that it's a very airy sort of feeling where you're almost like a little high and you're like kind of floating around. You're like kind of floating on that cloud nine. You're like, man, I'm feeling like motivated right now. Maybe I'll start jogging 3 miles down into the gym, and then I'll hit the workout, and then I'll jog 3 miles back home, and I'm going to take all my cold showers and stuff. It's like I'm so motivated. And then you do that like one time, and it's just way more than you bargained for. And then you're like, well, okay, and you stop doing it. Whereas if you just got the weights and you said, I'm going to do this 4 or 5 times a week, 4 or 5 workouts a week for an hour a day, that is probably something that's more realistic that you can stick to. So find the system that works for you. I'm probably going to keep repeating this, right? I could maybe put together this like elaborate workout, right? I could probably put together this crazy workout. It might technically be the best workout ever, but if it's just not feasible and you need to like combine all the gym equipment into this one Voltron looking thing and it's super difficult and you're just wiped out every time you do it, it might be a good workout technically, but in the long run, you're probably just going to get passed up by the guy who's just running a simple 4 or 5 day split where he comes in, he hits a muscle group, he gets a good pump, he gets his little sauna time, he grabs a shower and a shake and he dips out of there and, he gets ready to do it again the next day. And this applies to everything, right? This applies to your guitar playing, your writing, your MMA practice, your chess practice, whatever it is. You find that system and stick to it. Maybe with guitar, you found that the best system that works for you is to be self-taught and practice 1 chord progression per day. And then you find your favorite song after that, and you just kind of work on getting the tabs for that and practicing and try to play your favorite song and learn those tabs. And you find that this is the thing that works for you. This is the thing that you are willing to show up and do on a regular basis. Or with writing or something, maybe you found that like writing first thing in the morning is what works best for you because you're like, I'm just getting woken up and I'm getting my mind right. I get a little coffee and I just kind of want to sit and collect my thoughts. And this is the best time for me to write in my journal or write whatever, right? It's like, cool, just do that. With any of these things, you found a system that works for you, just do that. A lot of people need to start following their own intuition and gut a bit more because there's a lot of wisdom there and it's going to lead you in a direction that will work for you because we're all different, right? And there's not a one-size-fits-all approach to this stuff. This is where we get into where a lot of people begin to go wrong, which is that they put far too much weight into the suggestions and commentary from other people. You see, you're going to find that as you go down this road of pursuing or getting good at or growing, whatever it is that you're working on, that nearly everyone is going to have their own opinions and inputs and suggestions of what you should be doing and how you should be doing it. Everyone's got their thoughts and their methods that they want to impart on you and think that they can help you, right? It's like, have you done this workout this way? If you turn your wrist this direction while you're shoulder pressing, it hits the shoulders a bit different. They say that if you take an ice bath every morning, it raises your testosterone by this much. Have you tried this editing software? It's got this cool feature where it's like you can add a little pop sound whenever you ask someone to click the like button. One thing I would recommend that if you change your mic settings here and you add this equalizer, you set this number to 18, you set that number to 7.5, you go outside and you sun your balls for 10 minutes a day, you're going to be able to talk to the aliens finally, and they're going to be able to tell you how they think that you should be doing things. Oh, cool, right? It's like, I don't want to offend anyone here. I love reading the comments. I really do, actually. If you're listening to this, please leave a comment, whatever it is. But when it comes to advice, it's like, I'll listen, and I'll even implement things if they're really sound and they make sense. Like if someone says, hey, just press this button right here, and it's going to just make the quality of everything rise 200%, it's like going to be like, okay, dang, like I'm pressing that button. That's good. I'm going to implement that. But for the most part, when it comes to everyone's suggestions to how I should be doing X or Y, I've simply learned to ignore everyone. And it's like, thank you, sincerely, thank you. I'm very happy that you care enough to try and help. It's, it's very nice. It's very sweet. And if I were a complete beginner, I would think it's all incredibly, incredibly helpful. But when you find your system, you need to stick to your system. After a certain point, all these suggestions and these tips and these different inputs become, once again, what I've spoken about many times, this elaborate form of procrastination where you already have your system in place, and the odds are that you just need to keep putting logs into the fire of that system, so to speak. But now you're getting all wrapped up in these different ideas and different methods, and before you know it, you're picking up the logs, right, and you're examining them for too long. You're getting all neurotic. You're cutting them into different certain shapes. You're making shoes and animal shapes out of them. Before you know it, the fire that you've built has dwindled. You see what I'm saying? You find your system and you stick to it. That's the most important thing. If there's a way that you can incorporate some things that you pick up, or you hear something along the way and immediately that strikes a chord within you and you're like, oh, this will actually really benefit the system that I already have in place, and it's going to be seamless to implement, right? It's like, sure, don't be dumb, always be improving, but I really think that people are getting way too caught up in always looking for these different methods, always looking for this perfect optimization where it just simply doesn't exist, and your time would be better off spent focusing on staying true to your course, staying on the own path that you're already forging for yourself. So I sort of imply this sort of like smile and nod strategy, right? It's like, thank you, I really do appreciate it, and I genuinely do appreciate it, and I genuinely do consider different things, but I know that for the most part I must stay on my course. Like, for example, the videos I create, right? I just want to share these ideas, and I don't want to just sit in front of the camera at the moment. Maybe in the future, who knows? I'm following my intuition on that, but I also don't want anyone just staring at a blank screen or just like a picture of something, right? So what have I done? I found one of my favorite games that's come out lately, and I thought, you know what, this game, Elden Ring, it has so much interesting gameplay and beauty to it. It has this underlying theme of growth and improvement. Let me just play some Elden Ring and record it. And because it's such a big game, there's a lot to explore, and we'll just have that going on. And of course, some people are like, I don't get it. But you know what? A lot of people, I think they do get it. And if I just spent all this time being pulled in these different directions, left and right, with everything that I read, I just don't think I would ever get anywhere. So it's just like, this is what we're doing, right? Get in. We're saving the world. We're using Elden Ring. It's good. We're rolling with it. It's fine. It's a system I figured out that works. Is there potentially a better system out there? I'm sure there may be, but it doesn't matter. This is the one I'm enjoying right now. I'm getting a kick out of this, so we're rolling with it. And I think more and more people are kind of getting it. And even if they don't, I think the people who don't get it are just kind of like, oh, whatever, like, it doesn't really matter, right? At least I get to listen to them. You know, it's better than me having made nothing in the last several months. And then someone asks, like, hey, what have you been up to? And it's like, I've just been, trying out every single different piece of editing software out there, and I'm using all the different voice effects, and I posted a video on every single platform, but I never actually built one up in particular, and I'm just kind of all over the place because I've decided to listen to every single input that I've ever heard. Do you see what I'm saying? It's overrated. Sometimes I even have to ignore myself, like often actually. Sometimes I'll get too in my own head, and I'm like, maybe you're being too this or too that. Maybe we should try doing this way. And it's good to reflect, and it's good to ponder some things here and there. But what I'm often seeing, what I'm often noticing is truly this is all just a way of slowing me down, right? So pick your system, stick to it. If you enjoy coffee in the morning and that gives you energy, stick to it. If you stop drinking coffee because it wasn't for you and you found that it made you feel weird or something, just stick to it. Undoubtedly, somebody's going to come along and they're going to be like, actually, bro, don't drink coffee. It does this, it does that, it gives you this, it shrinks you that. Actually, bro, you should drink coffee, right? You're really missing out on this super healthy coffee benefit, yada, yada, yada. Do you see what I'm saying? Don't be so airy. Don't be like blowing around in the wind with all these different suggestions. Become a grounded person. Understand who you are. Understand what feels right, feels natural for you. Understand what works for you and explore that. I assure you, there's a lot to find there. So, all right, my friends, that's the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. And, find your nearest great sword and just smash the like button, destroy your mouse for me, and leave a comment, please. I desperately want to hear your thoughts on the matter, even though I just spent this entire video explaining why I won't listen. But that's besides the point. Doing these things, they make the video, they grow stronger. It makes the video go stronger, and it reaches more people. So just Let me know what you think, please. I really do enjoy reading them. And, if you don't have anything to say, I'm fine with another duck emoji. That was funny the last time. Our people actually were posting duck emojis. Maybe that'll become like my trait or something. That'll become like something I'm known for is these duck emojis. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet, but I'm fine with it. Post a duck emoji if you can't think of anything else to say. And please follow me on X, right? The future of the internet is uncertain. Channels like this that, they're not super overproduced. They're kind of going against the grain a little bit. Sometimes this kind of content is short-lived on YouTube. So I'd like to stay in touch with all you guys, and I think a good way to do that is if you would follow me over on X. The link is in the description. So, all right, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.